Épisode 1. On est là. On est là. Ah non, c'était pas par là. En forme ou quoi? Panneau. La piraterie, mon gars. Un de vampire, mec. Et tiens, je le croque direct. Au calme. Au calme, mon gars. C'est pas une bonne idée par là. Ah bah après c'est sûr hein les... Il en faut pour tous les goûts mon gars.
Hey, Doc.
Gestion personnelle. Combien de temps pensez-vous pouvoir échapper à la loi? Ah non, lui, je lui ai déjà parlé en vrai.
I'll leave you.
Je rends à Whitechapel. J'ai déjà accumulé l'XP dans l'hôpital.
Disgust on every street corner.
Que je prends la morsure. Ouais, bah après les goûts, elle est. Chacun a des goûts différents, t'as vu? Ça, c'est sûr, hein. C'est sûr. Non, ouais, c'est un action RPG triple A avec une histoire, tout simplement. Bah, du moins là, c'est plutôt de multiples histoires à travers chaque PNJ. En plus de la trame principale. Je pense que je vais augmenter la morsure. Soit la morsure, soit le DPS. Je pense qu'il faut que j'augmente le DPS parce que je suis assez faible. Ou alors l'endurance. Autophagie, vous consommez votre propre sang. Ah ouais, il y avait ça aussi là. Et j'ai augmenté ça. Ça c'est pour me heal. Ça c'est l'ultimate, j'ai pas encore accès. J'ai en sacoche médicale, vous pouvez maintenant transporter 3 sérums sur vous. Augmente le nombre de balles que vous pouvez transporter. Corps, endurance. Peut-être que j'augmente l'endu aussi, parce que je suis vite à court d'endu. Billet de sang, coagulation. De toute façon, j'ai plus assez d'XP là. Enfin, initialiser plutôt. On va faire autophagie. Donc là, ça, je choisis la griffe. Brume des ténèbres. Brume des ténèbres, ça a l'air d'être bien puissant aussi. Hein. Vous placez un nuage d'ombre à vos pieds ou à ceux de votre cible. Le nuage explose après quelques secondes, infligeant de sérieux dégâts. Projetez une lance de sang qui peut transpercer les ennemis devant vous. Ça a l'air d'être fumé ça. Ah non, c'est 1000 quand même. Hein. Brume des ténèbres, c'est 1000 mon gars. Je vais prendre ça. Augmente la quantité de sang absorbé lorsque vous utilisez morsure au combat. Voilà. Faudrait que j'augmente l'endu aussi. Plaque. Qu'est-ce que je peux augmenter? La tactique, charge. Vous foncez sur votre cible avec une vitesse surnaturelle. Ça, je m'en bats les couilles. Poil d'ombre. Utilisez votre endurance pour vous fondre dans les ombres et devenir invisible pour la plupart des ennemis. Ça, c'est le mode furtif, genre. Augmente votre régénération de vie lorsque utilisez morsure au combat. On va augmenter les dégâts de la morsure plutôt. Tac. 300% dégâts. Autophagie. C'est 1300 points. Et là c'est 2000 points là. Coagulation, 2 secondes de paralysie. Bouclier de sang. Durée 5 secondes. Vous créez une barrière invisible qui absorbe les dégâts directs jusqu'à sa destruction ou sa disparition. Un coup absorbé, 2 coups absorbés. Deux secondes de paralysie. Trois secondes de paralysie. Secondes. Ça c'est au niveau max. Et le bouclier au niveau max, il fait quoi? 252 dégâts. La disparition de votre barrière provoque une explosion qui inflige des dégâts aux ennemis à proximité. Sérum médical. Là j'ai 200 soins. Et là c'est 250 soins. Ouais, 50 ça fait cher au sein. Pourquoi le soin augmente pas là? Au calme mec. Au calme. Vous échangez le gain de santé instantané pour une régénération plus importante. Utilisez plus de sang pour soigner instantanément, obtenir une augmentation supplémentaire de votre régénération de santé. Ou 25, récupération de... Ah ouais, là tu l'as plus rapide par contre. Ok. En tout cas, je vais prendre les sérums là. Confirmé. Bon, mon template a l'air d'être pas mal. Anémie, traitement pour l'anémie. Mal de tête, traitement pour mal de tête. Je rends à Whitechapel. Ah ouais, c'est vrai que je peux sortir par ici. Et les niveaux 18, mec. Au bon endroit en vrai là. Tiens. Allez, bim. Les coupé en 10, mon gars. Au sujet du recrutement de nouveaux boys à Whitechapel, je pense avoir trouvé un candidat, Albi. Il est bête comme ses pieds, mais c'est un grand gaillard. Je lui ai demandé de me prouver qu'il pouvait me fournir des médicaments pour le marché noir. Ok. Donc, nouvel indice. Je reprends rien du tout en plus, hein. Wear a mask and save your life. Spanish influenza. C'est tous des niveaux 18 ou quoi? Ah non, là c'est des militaires. Ça me dit c'est au-dessus, Whitechapel. Ah ouais, c'est carrément là-bas en vrai. Refuge. Ah, donc j'ai pas le choix, faut que je traverse cette zone. À tous les citoyens de Londres, couvre-feu, avertissement sanitaire officiel. Un couvre-feu sera sonné tous les soirs à 21 h par les cloches des églises. Je peux lui parler à lui. Hein. Je m'en doutais, mec. Me faire monter en l'air là, ils sont trop. Ils sont trop là, mon gars. Faut que je passe discrètement en vrai.
Not a good place for a stroll.
Engagez-vous.
Are you deaf? There's more and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. The guards recruit more and more every year. Ain't safe here for a gentleman. When did you join the guard? Sir! Step away now! Stay close to the eye.
It's locked, all right.
It's a leech! Kill it! Kill you!
Allez, crève. Non, il a repop. C'est moi ou il a repop instant? Ok, je me suis auto-niqué, mec. Roger le mur. Fils de pute. Tiens. On sent la faiblesse quand même, hein. La faiblesse du vampire, mec.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the
Il y a un
kind
refuge à
of
proximité,
that's
soyez vigilants.
First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Continue de boire jusqu'à en crever, vieux pochetron. C'est quoi cette discussion de ouf, mec?
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Oh.
Wet booze will be proud of me.
Tu lui as posé une cartouche au calme?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Il s'en bat les couilles, mon gars. Il va claquer, il s'en bat les couilles.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Ok, j'ai gratté un indice.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Indice requis.
Goodbye.
Putain, j'ai 0 indice, mec.
Another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Ce sont des méthodes barbares.
What about those we left behind, face down in the mud? You want to change places with them? You cannot waste your chance at life this way.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have expected you to understand. I don't even know why I spoke to you in the first place.
Un disperdu.
What is it?
The doctors...
What about the...
It's not...
Ah, le bâtard. Un
Whatever
disperdu,
the boy
mec.
did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that... I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Il est défoncé, mec.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Il a une migraine, mec.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
En forme ou quoi? Anthony. La piraterie, mon gars. Je cherche Nurse Crane.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
C'est l'infirmière qui vole les médicaments, en vrai.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
I'd
Alors,
like
elle
to
vend
see
quoi?
what kind of medicine you're selling.
Fiole de verre. Tartare ferreux. Tartrate. Solution. Hypochlorite de sodium. Codéine. De la codéine, mec. La putain de drogue.
Good evening.
Ah, je peux pas la charmer.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough.
J'ai pas assez de... Pas assez de charme.
It's locked.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
À travers la porte, mec.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Darius
I must
Petrescu.
talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
La vision du futur, mon gars.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Putain, c'est des dalleux de ouf, mec.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Nouvelle enquête.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Petit morceau de poignée de qualité. Ça c'est pour améliorer les armes.
I should never have taken up my fault.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means
Aucun scrupule, mec.
philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you
Dépouille
really
les
think he's the
faibles, mon
poor
gars.
victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina
C'est une
do
catin,
for
mon
you?
gars.
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right, then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many
Une
others.
roumaine.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people
Bon, pas
of
sérieux.
Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly, but it is not your concern, Doctor.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about
Il a
your
le
clients?
sida, mon gars.
If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Elle parle toute seule.
I'm cheap and I'm
Du propre et bon marché, mon gars. C'est quoi cet argumentaire? Un petit bouquet de fleurs dans lequel est caché un bon pour un examen médical gratuit. Camélia.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Je sais que vous travaillez pour Nurse Crane.
Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
Ils l'ont marabouté, mec.
It's locked, all right.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon.
Il est chelou, mon gars, le prêtre.
Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Il veut les cramer, lui, mon gars. Pas de discussion, lui. Il veut les cramer sur des poteaux, les vampires. T'es sérieux, mec?
What exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph... a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose
As a doctor, you must be aware.
What? I have heard enough. Goodbye. Good evening.
It's
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Il l'a envoyé se faire bouffer, mon gars.
I have had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
En forme ou quoi? HTML5.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
Mec, il est sec.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform
Ouais,
the
moi
country.
j'aime bien, mec. Il y a une multitude de PNJ avec chacun leur quête, leur histoire, tu vois. Et t'as des enquêtes à faire dessus. En plus de la trame principale. Ouais. T'as des espèces de refuges. Et, en vrai, si tu soignes les gens, tes médecins, tu vois, si tu les soignes et que tu avances dans les enquêtes pour résoudre leurs problèmes, à la fin, si tu les bouffes, ils te donnent plus d'XP.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth.
Le choix, j'en sais rien,
I
mec.
saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Clayton Darby.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Il y a une explication rationnelle. Ce n'est pas une simple épidémie. Ouais, des fois, faut faire attention à ce que tu répondes pour pas perdre d'indices, tu vois. Après, je sais pas si ça a d'influence sur la trame principale. Aucune idée, ça. Bah, de ce que j'ai compris, il se réveille en tant que vampire, tu vois, en tant que nouveau-né. Et il y a une épidémie, en fait, dans Londres. Et son but, c'est normalement, c'est de soigner l'épidémie, tu vois. Mais je pense que c'est lié avec avec les vampires, en vrai. C'est pas une grippe, tu vois, c'est juste... les vampires qui niquent tout, mon gars.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott.
Trafic d'organes, mon gars.
Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spent
Trafic d'organes, mec.
most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
I still have questions about that Darius fella.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Goodbye, Mr. Darley. Farewell.
Trouver Richard Hittercott. Pourquoi ça me l'a pas validé lui? Clayton Darby.
Good evening, Doc.
I still have...
He not really. He not really. He went to...
Goodbye, Mr.
La vampirance, mec. Ah ouais, ils sont vénères là. Allez, bim. Ouais, ouais, t'as de la magie. T'as un arbre de talent, tu vois. T'as une arme main gauche, une arme main droite. Et tu peux en équiper deux, tu vois. T'as des armes à deux mains aussi, armes distance. Et ouais, t'as une sorte de magie des ténèbres là. Attends, c'est... Il est où le menu avec les points de talent? Je sais pas si on peut le voir de là. On peut pas le voir ici, mais tu peux le voir quand tu te reposes. Faut te reposer pour accumuler l'XP. T'as un arbre de talent avec des attaques offensives, défensives, des trucs pour absorber le sang. Tu peux mordre et absorber le sang, tu vas te régénérer en vie. T'as 2 points de talent, je crois aussi, avec une sorte de mode tactique où tu peux passer en mode furtif, genre dans les ombres. Et la magie, c'est dégâts des ténèbres, là. C'est l'espèce de flaque que j'ai mis au sol. Après, il faut pas mal d'XP pour améliorer les points de talent. Tu vois, je pense que je vais pas tout acheter. Je vais juste stack une technique en vrai. Ah, ils sont pas là-bas. Trouver Richard dans la zone. Richard, mon gars.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town,
My words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Al mito.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid? Of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Nouvel indice.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Lui, il va se faire bouffer par un vampire, mon gars.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet, nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you. For a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Trouvez la boîte aux lettres.
Hello again, miss. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then.
Lettre de Darius Petrescu. Mes chers enfants bien-aimés, je m'en veux tellement de ne pas vous avoir donné des nouvelles durant ces derniers mois.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Of mine. Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another. You again? What do you want this time?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Fancy buying something?
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. And these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? And most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
You again? What do you want this time?
Ça m'a pas débloqué de...
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Indice.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Pas assez de charme.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked.
Il y a du stuff ici, mec.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Votre vie à Londres. Ton personnel direct.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. But I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really?
Il est dans un sale délire, lui aussi. Hein?
Not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Pour le cancer, mon gars. De thunes, au calme, des shillings. Il est en train de convulser, mec.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, doctor?
Trachéotomie, mon gars.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time. Form a thoracic drain.
Yes, doctor. He's still bleeding, doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, doctor?
I can't see.
Les plans de vampire, mon gars.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, doctor.
Il est mort, mon gars.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
Je peux pas le sauver, mec. C'est pas une grippe qu'il a, c'est une vampirisation, mon gars. Je peux pas soigner ça.
I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. To what? I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
So, the end
Vénère, mon
justifies the
gars.
means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
La charme ou quoi? Éteindre, je vais en finir. Ah, il la bouffe. Soit je la bouffe. Soit je l'épargne, mais elle se barre. Je vais la charmer, mec.
Listen very carefully,
Possession, mon gars.
You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Entretien avec un vampire, niveau de charme. De nouveaux citoyens peuvent être tués. Elle est complètement possédée, mec. Elle a même son établi qui bouge tout seul, mon gars.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
This one stinks already. Best turn around if I were you. Hey! Don't come no closer!
On est parti en califourchon, mon gars.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Miss Wanderer. Perhaps... Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Ils ont mis de la lumière ici. Il y a un vampire derrière ou pas? Il n'y avait pas un refuge? Non, je vais tenter d'aller au refuge en vrai. Comme ça, je prends de l'XP. C'est vraiment un refuge, ça? Ah non, c'est pas un refuge, ça.
Human. Blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Un mec qui se fait bouffer, mon gars. « 2000 points d'XP. » 1300. Ah non, j'ai plus que 300. Apparition à Whitechapel. Ajoute 3 points à l'impact lorsque l'arme touche. Ah, j'ai pas assez pour l'améliorer. Diminue la consommation d'endurance. Absorbe des points de sang lorsque l'arme touche sa cible.
Kill it, boy! Crush the leech, boys!
Ils sont combien, mec? Oh, je me suis fait déglinguer comme jamais là. Je me suis fait déglinguer comme jamais, mon gars. Pour remplir. On bouffe des rats morts, mon gars. Ah, c'est derrière, là. Je peux paniquer, ça.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Allez, tiens. Ah, ils font moins le malin là, hein. Allez, bouffe-le, mec. Allez, bim. Carnage du siècle, mon gars. Ils ont rien drop, hein. Pas un loot, rien, mon gars. Ah, le fils de pute. Calme-toi, mec, calme-toi. Ah, ils ont faim de ouf, hein. De pute. Allez. De l'amage intensif, mon gars. Ok, je vais pouvoir valider la quête. Hey, mini Boujna. C'est un action RPG classique, tu vois, avec une histoire à multiples embranchements. Chaque PNJ en fait a ses propres quêtes et tu dois découvrir des indices pour pouvoir avancer dans chacune des quêtes. Donc du coup il faut aller un peu partout, parler aux PNJ pour connaître leur histoire et trouver les bons indices. Ouais. En fin de compte, vous êtes une meurtrière. Alors après, des fois, selon ce que tu réponds, tu vois, t'as des... tu peux perdre certains indices, ouais. Faire attention. Hein. Oh ouais, c'est cool, l'ambiance est bien sombre. Ouais. La musique est énorme. Mais je pense, tu vois, que c'est mieux de le jouer la nuit, en fait, pour être vraiment bien dans l'ambiance. La compassion dissimule vos véritables intentions. Vous faisez confiance. Tu peux charmer aussi les citoyens. En fait, il faut choisir. Soit tu les bouffes. Tu peux soit les bouffer, tu vois, et prendre de l'expérience et gagner de la puissance tout de suite là pour acheter tes points de talent, tout ça. Ou soit tu résous leurs problèmes, tu fais les quêtes et à la fin ils te donnent beaucoup plus d'XP. Je pense que c'est ce qu'il faut faire, tu vois. C'est les garder en bonne santé, les soigner. Et une fois qu'ils rapportent un max d'XP, tu les déglingues. Parce que en fait, t'es censé être un médecin dans le jeu. Donc du coup, t'es censé les soigner normalement. Donc t'as un petit peu de crafting comme ça, tu vois, tu peux faire des médicaments. Hein. Les accusations étaient donc fondées.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady. The blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Avec ses entretiens avec un vampire.
You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have
Tout ça pour 50 shillings, mon gars, elle me prend vraiment pour un laquais.
I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Pourquoi elle bouffe pas des rats? Tu peux bouffer des rats, mon gars.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Mec, elle a 27 ans depuis 400 ans, en vrai.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a Scar?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
C'est des vampires handicapés en vrai.
Whatever their strength and demeanor,
Atrophiés, mon gars.
progeny of careless vampires.
Ils ont le cerveau
It cannot
atrophié,
be
mec.
the other way round.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones.
Donc en vrai, il y a les vampires, l'espèce de gang de malfrats là,
But it seems they have been
et
recruited.
la société secrète de chasseurs de vampires là. Sûr qu'elle est dirigée par le prêtre, mec. Le prêtre chelou là.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
J'ai fait morte par Dracula, mec.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I bid you farewell.
Elle m'a manipulé en vrai depuis le début.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need.
Ok, je vais analyser le sang.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Ah non.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Doc.
Ah, c'était elle que je voulais voir.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Milton.
Damn. The pain.
Ok, j'analyse le sang. Sérum d'endurance léger.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Ok, on va dépenser un peu de points de talent. Ok, donc je peux avoir un ultimate là. Rage. Vous prendrez le contrôle et laissez la bête en vous se déchaîner temporairement. La bête fond tous les ennemis autour de vous et leur inflige une puissante attaque. fait un tourbillon de ténèbres au pied de votre cible. Les ombres prennent vie pour interrompre un ennemi dans la zone et lui infliger de sérieux dégâts. Ça a l'air de déglinguer ça. Hein. Fond de roue de sang, mec. Vous concentrez votre puissance pour faire bouillir le sang de la cible, le faisant violemment exploser, infligeant des dégâts à la cible et à tout ce qui se trouve autour d'elle. Fait péter son cœur, mon gars. Je vais prendre Abyss. Il faut peut-être que je les soigne là, non? Ils commencent à être malades, les bordels. Anémie, fatigue, fatigue. Mal de tête. Va les soigner, mon gars. Donc il me faut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, non, 4, 5, 6. 6 remèdes contre la fatigue, 1 contre le mal de tête. Un contre l'anémie. Il me manque des... L'anémie, j'en ai 1. Tartrate ferreux, solution. Hypochlorite de sodium. Oh, il y a un marchand en plus. Dans la zone là.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Comment on fait pour le soigner? Ah voilà. Guérir avec...
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
Voilà, donnez les médicaments.
As you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
Il est dans un sale délire, lui, il se laisse mordre par une déglingo, mon gars.
And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Lui, il est en bonne santé. Elle aussi. On va soigner les docteurs quand même.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only...
Ah, ça a bugué là, mon gars.
You used those men to improve your theories.
Les cordes vocales se sont coupées instantanément.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Ok, un de plus de soigner.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Ah, j'ai pas assez de traitement.
I will see. Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course.
Ah bah c'est bon, il en vend je crois. Ah, je sais même plus ce qu'il me faut en vrai.
Good evening, Doc.
Please show me.
Of course.
Je crois que c'est ça là. Ça, ok. On va faire les médicaments. Solution hypochlorite de sodium.
Spare your obedient slave.
Ah, il est où? On va lui donner à elle là.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine as soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reed.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about
Lui, c'est improvisé médecin, mon gars.
Do you realize how many
Sérieux, mon
soldiers
gars?
died because
Le
of that
charlatan.
decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Please show me what you have.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful. It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead,
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
C'est pas lui que je voulais voir. J'ai vu un inconnu là.
See you later.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Alors il sera à l'étage du dessus. Ah ouais, c'est lui.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak.
Le patron, mon
I
gars.
have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu.
It's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
La voix est désynchronisée.
But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
C'est trop dangereux, j'ai également pensé que je pourrais faire de l'ombre mon royaume.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Là, il était dans la tombe. Lettre de mise en garde. Pembroke Hospital. Cher docteur Swansea, je dois vous informer de mes plus sérieuses réserves concernant le docteur Toro Strickland et son traitement d'Harvey Fiddick. Mr. Fiddick est hospitalisé suite à une grave blessure subie au travail. Si cette blessure n'est pas traitée comme il se doit, il pourrait perdre l'usage de son bras à tout jamais. Le docteur Strickland prétend qu'une nouvelle procédure chirurgicale pourrait entièrement sauver le bras du patient. Je pense quant à moi qu'elle pourrait également faire empirer son état si jamais il y avait des complications. Notre jeune collègue est un chirurgien plein de courage et d'audace. Il pourrait devenir un très grand professionnel dans les années à venir, mais pour l'instant, il manque d'expérience pour effectuer une procédure aussi risquée. Comment ça, il lui faut des médicaments? En bonne santé. Qui souffre. soigné tout le monde là quasiment. Ah, il y a lui là.
Thought I would have to attend. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Ah ouais, je les ai pas. Il me manque...
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Il me manque 2-3
Wise
trucs.
choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Lui, il vend pas de cacheton, lui. Tant pis, mec, tu vas claquer, mon gars. Ah ouais, il y a lui qu'il faut que je soigne de son anémie, là. Lui, il a un mal de crâne. Je vais soigner lui, là. Il traîne par là, normalement.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally.
C'est une raclure, mais je le soigne quand même, mec.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
En bonne santé. Il n'y a plus que lui là. Faut... Ah, attends. Je crois que j'avais un truc pour le mal de tête pour lui là. Oswald Thatcher. Par contre, je sais plus il est où. Il est en bas là. Je vais le soigner, mec.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes. This neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
Ah non, j'avais pas les médicaments. J'étais sûr de les avoir pour le mal de tête. Tant pis, on reviendra plus tard quand j'aurai plus de thunes. Ouais, je dois aller là-bas, donc en vrai... On va passer par là. Ouais, c'est bon. C'est du quartier critique. Ah ouais. Des morts en pleine rue, mon gars. 5 shillings. C'est des chasseurs de vampires.
This is no place for you.
Ah, je m'auto-bute. Fais-moi le malin maintenant.
I don't know if I have the strength.
Allez. Montage en l'air des ténèbres, mon gars. Ah, les petites goules là, je trouve qu'elles sont plus balèzes que les vrais ennemis en vrai.
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Shaoshun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Elle veut pas parler, mec. Alors que je lui ai sauvé la vie, là. Aucun respect.
Shouldn't you go?
Maybe later, but
Je peux pas la charmer.
Carnage.
This man's far too old to be Samuel. No. By the look of his clothes, this man's a docker.
Lui a planté un lustre dans le torse. Voilà. Ils sont toute une famille là. Putain, bande de fils de pute. Voilà, bouffe-le. À la machette, mec. Y'a pas un rat là? Voilà, un ratasse. Il y a du drop hein, dans le cimetière. J'aurais dû lock la cible, mais quand ils sont plusieurs... Ah ouais, carrément, mec. Venez par là, bande de tafioles. Oh! Putain, mais... D'où il sort, ton gars? J'ai pas de sang en plus. Ah, c'est quand je pète les tombes peut-être. Voilà. Heureusement que j'avais mon ultimate, hein.
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Il n'y a pas moyen de les assommer en plus, hein. Voilà. Putain, mais c'est où? Ah, c'est genre au-dessus, là. Ah, mais d'accord, mais comment on va là-bas? Un putain de labyrinthe, mec.
Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
Un truc à drop là.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Bien sûr que si, mec, bouffe les rats, mon gars.
Yes. Avery, I leave you to care for my mother. I'm in no state to comfort her.
Assister discrètement, d'accord. Eh, comment?
I have this thirst for blood.
Comment j'assiste discrètement à l'enterrement? Ah, il y a un passage là, ok. Nickel.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could... One thing. One thing.
Va se cartoucher, mon gars. What the fuck? Mise à jour driver Nvidia, mec.
This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries, and time has taught me to deal with guilt, if not erase it.
What should I do then?
St. Mary, go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
Ok, faut que j'aille à l'église en fait. Ok, eux ils veulent me déglinguer. Les bons petits vampiros, mon gars. LOL. Il m'a one shot? Il m'a one shot, mec. Calme-toi, mec, calme-toi. Bande de crevards. Allez. Cramé mon gars. Fils de pute. Pulvérisation, mec. Inconnu.
Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say? No, thank you.
J'ai pas assez de charme.
All right. I shan't insist. Goodbye for now, sir.
Il me laisserait crever en vrai. Quarantaine, maladie contagieuse. Personne ne peut entrer ou quitter la zone de quarantaine sans une autorisation écrite des autorités sanitaires locales. Personne à part le personnel autorisé de la commission de santé ne peut modifier, détruire ou retirer cette carte. Quiconque violera cette règle recevra une amende. Il me cramer le bâtard.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Il veut me déglinguer, mon gars.
Not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Et lui, il veut me défoncer, mon gars. Il lui a mis un coup de lance. Ah, il a mis une croix au bout de sa lance, mec.
I'd head back if I were you, sir. Please, sir, can't let you stay back, please.
Ah ouais, d'accord, il a le... Il a la croix, mon gars. Je peux me brûler. Allez. Montrer la puissance des ténèbres, mon gars.
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix. This is not good news.
Un 3 shillings. J'ai pris tout ce risque pour 3 shillings, mon gars.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Not at all, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Hello again, miss. Very well.
Elle me parle pas, elle, mec.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worry. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For or I can be as silent as stone.
I've told you once. This is a private concern.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten
Il tire les verres du nez, mec.
God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well. Oh, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She has been laid to rest. That's all you need to know.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
She died because of me. How do you think I feel?
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and
Lui, il va me faire un coup de pute, mon gars. Je le sens.
God at all.
Fatigue.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears the dispensary is now a major source of contagion in Whitechapel. Someone should do something about it, but no one cares.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
What do you know about Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
2 girls I know went to the dispensary yesterday. Nobody has seen them since. I worry about them, in case bad things happen.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Elle est dégueulasse, mon gars.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the devil's work. Such is the law of the Lord.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Lui, mec, qui prépare un sale coup. Encore les guerriers du crucifix, mon gars. Il m'a stun avec son vieux crucifix du cancer là. C'est chaud. Hein. J'ai plus de seringue, plus rien. Il y a un moyen de prendre la fuite. On perd l'aggro, on perd pas l'aggro.
You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Tell me what you are.
I am the whitened bones and blackened soil. The land made blood.
C'est le diable, mon gars.
Through thy veins.
What is it you seek?
C'est le shaitan, mec.
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur. I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity. Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Ah, j'ai pas le traitement pour mal de tête en vrai. Traitement pour la fatigue. Matraque usée. Ah, la matraque à la somme aussi. 40 d'endurance, 30 d'endurance. Absorbe des points de sang lorsque l'arme touche sa cible. On va prendre ça. On va équiper la matraque, mec. La scie.
The flower is dying. It needs water.
Elle a besoin d'eau. Il faut même soigner les plantes, mec. C'est 2000 XP ça. Hein. Augmenter la jauge d'endurance. Ah, j'ai pas assez. %, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%. On va prendre ça. La morsure. Ok, donc alors attends. J'ai des mecs L, rhume, fatigue, rhume, migraine. Rhume. Traitement contre le rhume, je sais pas si j'ai ça. Ah si. Donc je vais pouvoir les soigner, il n'y a que le mal de tête qui me manque. Ok, elle est où? Faire le plein, mec.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
La soigne contre le
Do you
rhume.
need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Bon. Je vais aller me casser le ventre.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
C'est l'heure de se casser le ventre. Où est le docteur là? Elle l'a bouffé, mec. Et aussi, on va le
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
soigner contre la fatigue.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Mhm. C'est lui qui a le rhume, je crois.
Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Afraid so. In the war, I was always worried about picking up something, getting some infection. Unfortunately, got that fear in London now.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon created by man. You are wise to be careful.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go there.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were
Bon,
rats.
la piraterie, je vous le dis à tout à l'heure. Pour la suite, je vais me casser le ventre.
Fingers, lips.
Ciao, ciao.
Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.